Yellow Kidney squatted beneath a cut bank out of the wind and watched 7 persons turn in the northern sky. He smoked his short pipe and listened to the mutterings of the 4 other men. They waited a short distance from camp for Fast Horse and White Man's Dog. Of them all, only Eagle Ribs was an experienced horse-taker. He was a young man of 24 winters and had accompanied Yellow Kidney on a raid against the Parted Hares 2 summers ago. He was shorter than most Pecuni men, but he was thick in the legs and waist. His strength and balance made him the best wrestler in camp. As a youth, he had thrown 12 young men, one after another, on their backs during a Sundance contest. He had won many possessions, including the long brass-handled knife he now wore in his belt. But Yellow Kidney had chosen him not for his strength, but for his scouting ability. He could see without being seen, and he knew what he saw. He would give an accurate accounting of the enemy. Yellow Kidney ran his fingers over the buttstock of his many-shots gun. It would be the only gun among the horse-takers. Although a couple of the young men had muskets and Eagle Ribs had a single shot, they were too cumbersome and inefficient for a quick strike against the crows. So the rest of the men carried bows and knives. They also carried several pairs of extra moccasins, awl, and rawhide, and enough pemmican to last them a few days should game be scarce or they need to eat on the run. Yellow Kidney opened his parfleche. The skin pouch inside contained 40 greased shooters. He liked its heavy feel. He had not had the many-shots gun long enough to see what it would do to an enemy, but it shot true, and it had brought down many blackhorns. He dropped the cartridge pouch back into the parfleche and one last time felt for his paints and small medicine bundle. They were there. He heard a call, and in the quarter moonlight he saw the 2 young men approach. He stood and slung his robe pack over his shoulder. It was only now that he admitted to himself his 2 concerns. He did not like to have an unlucky man on this trip. Bad luck, like the white scab's disease, can infect others. He had only agreed to take White Man's Dog along because he respected his father. Yellow Kidney would have to be alert for signs of bad medicine and turn the party around if the signs mounted up. But his real concern focused on Fast Horse. He was boastful and reckless, and he wanted too much. Such a man in a small party like this could bring disaster down on all of them. Yellow Kidney did not like to begin such a long journey with these feelings. The small group of men walked steadily all night and all the next day. The high rolling plains offered easy going, and Yellow Kidney wanted to make time while they were fresh. He knew of a war lodge just below Red Old Man's Butte. It was in a stand of small pines and would give them enough cover and comfort for a good rest. They would come upon it before Sun Chief hid behind the backbone, time enough perhaps to kill an animal for food. The 4-leggeds were many that day. They saw 4 large herds of blackhorns and several smaller herds of prairie runners and wags' tails, and once, on a bluff to the west, bighorns. In a draw that drained toward the Bear River, they scared up a kit fox, and Yellow Kidney took this as a good sign, for the fox was known to give men cunning. It was said that those to whom the fox came in dreams would become strong leaders. Later that day, a pair of golden eagles followed the party for a way, and again Yellow Kidney felt good, for they would give him eyes to see far off. Part of his war medicine was in the 2 eagle feathers he wore in his hair, but he was glad when the eagles turned away to their home in the backbone. Any nearby raiding party would also be watching the large birds and wondering what they found so interesting to follow.